I will try to do what I should, but thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Um, you don't have to take a long look at the CRIMT conference programming, or just have to listen to the wrap we were granted with at the end of the first session to conclude that we are in a period of transition where radical transformation are called for to address the systemic challenges of climate change and the rise of social inequalities, just to name a few. One of the needed transformation is at the corporate level. Need to depart from the old Friedman vision corporation organized solely around maximizing profits, notably through the externalization of environmental and social costs, toward corporations that take society and environmental issues in consideration, not just as a risk factor, and they aim at having a beneficial impact on them. For a short, we called it and I don't know how to pronounce this, stakeholderism, stakeholderism. But it's a controversial term, so maybe you're not at ease with it, and I don't mind the debate. Tomorrow, there's a debate on this situation. What is the right vision for the 21st century firm? But let's just call it the common good corporation, and see if it's an oxymoron or if it exists. Many instruments of transformation are fueling this transformation. ESG, ISSB, B Corp, EFRAG, CSR, DDD. There's like an alphabet soup of innovations. There's Ruggie principles, sustainability reports, and we can say that these instruments of change are working at three levels, or attempting to work at three levels. Like there's this institutional level with norms or laws or just international principles. The organizational level, some corporation try issue mission statement, sustainability reports, it's like a requirement now, and some try to be benefit corporation, that aim like for a double or the triple bottom line. But also at the individual level, there are some corporate social innovations that may come from organizational level or individual level. Some workshop trying to understand truth and reconciliation in Canada, trying to understand what it is to be an inclusive workplace. But it's not so clear how we can get from like the bad corporation to the good corporation, um, and how can we get from here to there? And this, we're just like in a very muddy situation in the middle between just the purely corporate oriented corporation to where like a more sustainable one. So and I've put here like the example of ExxonMobil Corporation versus Arjuna Capital, just to show you like what it looks like when it's a contested terrain. Exxon sued Arjuna Capital, one of its shareholders, who had dared to propose a shareholder resolution asking Exxon to decrease in a more substantial way its carbon emission. But you can also think of Robbie Starbuck and his campaign against diversity, equity, and inclusion corporate goals that has brought Tractor Supply and John Deere to alter their corporate support for pride parades and other policies. So it's not clear how, not when, and not even if we will get to the good corporation, to the stakeholder corporation, or call it what you want. So our interest is in this in-between process between two very distinct corporate paradigms. Two models are available, and most firms are in between, trying to figure out what is their next move. What enabled the transformation to happen? What impedes it? We need insight on the struggle to replace one set of values by another within firms. How do managers within firms pursue social goals while within an existing structure organized around profitability and KPIs? So we looked at social innovations and managers pursuing them to understand this process. Social innovation that are like this agentic, multi-level process to develop novel solutions to social problems, and they're directed toward producing profound change in institutional context. And so we're trying to understand what enables or impedes this redefinition of corporation to take place through researching those social innovation. This is a team, a very big team project, a project that brought us since 2020 together. You will hear Jorge Carrillo from Mexico. Max also is in Mexico. Philip from the UK. Gregor Murray also, and Julie Hagan. We are the Canadian team. We studied 14 social innovations by multinationals in Canada, tackling issues such as refugees inclusion, detection of human trafficking, reconciliation with Indigenous nations, diversity in the supply chain. We conducted 26 interviews with mid-level and senior managers and employees of civil society organizations in a variety of sectors and a variety of firms. Some were public companies with headquarters either in Canada, in Europe, other countries, 4 family-owned corporations, 1 private company, 1 B Corp. And we were interested in knowing how these innovations came into place, how they were integrated into the organization, how they fitted in the broader transformation of corporation and capitalism. So what did we find? First, social innovations are fueled by a desire of MNCs and or individuals within them to connect with society's goals and challenges. So I've put some quotes. You may read them while talking, but I won't read them aloud. But this desire may be limited to a specific location within the MNC. So in Canada, they want to be perfect on the diversity inclusion. Elsewhere, maybe it doesn't matter as much. And other findings, legal principles, like I'm a lawyer, I'm always interested, like, okay, so what about this change in the law? Legal principles or norms may help. The UN Sustainable Development Goals were often cited. ESG as a concept was also often cited. Also, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in Canada about Indigenous nations and this necessity to know the truth and to reconcile with and decolonize, ideally, Canada was important. And also some really black and white contracts, such as impact mining benefit agreement that are done for mining companies with the communities around them. And some interviewer told us, like, luckily it's in written, I can rely on that and ask more things. ESG, yeah, important. It's useful, especially this idea that the S is fuzzy, it's not clear. So it allowed the corporation, the managers, to push toward a more innovative action rather than just sticking to a chart and saying, like, oh yeah, we done that, we done this. So ESG as its open way was useful. CSR was absolutely not useful. Everybody was saying, like, no, we're not doing CSR. This is interesting. Don't worry, it's not CSR. No one was from the CSR department, and they were critical about it. Also, what we found is that a sense of individual or organizational purpose fuels or facilitates social innovations. It increases managers' agency and desire to engage in social innovations. It may facilitate, and it will be even more so when a corporation is a benefit corporation, because they will feel that we have the budget behind it, we can go and ask for more, and we can try to do more. Also, community engagement is absolutely essential, not just necessary, I would say. And the idea of talking to community organization or others, NGOs, was facilitating for them to engage in the meaningful social innovations. But transformation may be limited to cases where people and profits go together. So always there was this mantra, oh, okay, people, planet, profit, they all go together. It's always for the right thing. Of course, we just need to be more enlightened about how it will benefit profits, profitability, to take more consideration of the environment and of people. But what if it doesn't? When there are hard choices to be made, this never was brought up. It was like, if we have a social innovation, everybody will be happy. So the business case is always important. They need to be put into advance, to be put forefront. And someone told us, like, even if the community said no to this project, to this mining project, it would probably have gotten pushed down their throat and said, you have to negotiate. So profit ultimately will prevail. And social innovation, we didn't ask, we were not able to assess to what extent were they successful in bringing like a true modification. Of some were successful in just being established, continued, but does it really change capitalism, or does it really change the uh, fundamental operations of the corporation? The real impact of social innovation is difficult to assess. So to conclude, we would like to highlight the role of purpose in fueling this desire to put in place social innovations to address social inequality. Purpose, like this stable and intention to accomplish something that is meaningful to the self and to the world, to the self and to the world. So the corporation has to be aware of what the world wants and of itself. And I'm not sure that we will get past this muddy middle, because to act with purpose, one needs to think of what is value to oneself and to the others. So maybe the role of all this talk about ESG, corporate purpose, is to bring corporation in this uncomfortable middle position where they have to decide what they can accomplish of meaningful value to the world and to themselves. So maybe this fuzzy and uncomfortable middle is where we will stay. Thank you.